Hey everybody, welcome to the weekly Twin Flame energy reading. Let's see what's going on for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. Let's see where we go here. I am going to be using a different oracle deck at some point in this reading, the Hidden Truth Oracle, which I was just gifted. One of you sent it to me, but there was no card in it, so I just want to say thank you to whoever sent that to me. Sometimes when it comes through Amazon, there's no card. So whoever sent it to me, muchas gracias. All right, let's see where we go. I am going to look at what is going on now. And as we move into this eclipse energy, that is a very activating type of energy. It's a empowering type of energy, especially in Taurus, which is connected to Venus, right? Venus is the Taurus ruler. Taurus is ruling planet. So let's see. Reaching your destination. Surrendering to the journey. Release control. I mean, shouldn't this just be like, part of the reading every single time? I feel like I get that card very often. Journey by moonlight. Believe in magic. There's definitely some things that you're not seeing. Okay, so let's tap into the collective right now. I'll do Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, the connection. And then I'll pull some of that Hidden Truth Oracle. I like that. Any zodiac signs I do find in this reading, I will look at further in the extended. Some messages. So it could be you or it could be a person you're dealing with. All right. Let's see where we go. I am seeing Virgo here. All right. So put a pin in that. Let's see if that shows up. Okay. This showed up in the shuffle. 9 of Swords for Divine Feminine. 2 of Wands. I'll lay this out and then I'll explain it to you. Let's see. 2 of Wands. Fool. 10 of Wands. 6 of Wands. 4 of Swords. 8 of Cups. And the Page of Pentacles. So that feels like kind of balanced energy to me. It does feel like it's possible that the feminine got in a little over her head. Just saying, it's not about gender. Divine Feminine is not necessarily a gender, but I'm just going to use her as the pronoun because we're talking about Divine Feminine. So it's possible the Divine Feminine jumped in a little too quickly and now worried, overwhelmed, not sure what to do. It could have been jumping into anything. It doesn't mean jumping into the connection, but I do get the sense that the feminine now knows there's a lot more to learn, okay? And when you first came upon this twin flame journey, before you really knew what it was, I feel like there's a lot of like throwing caution to the wind kind of energy here. And I do see the 6 of Wands, the 4 of Swords, this really healing energy, this feeling good on the path energy. Like after a couple of bumpy years, finally the feminine is like, all right, I'm going to focus in on myself. I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of. I'm going to learn the things I need to learn. I'm going to do my healing work. It's almost like the feminine is not really focused anymore on the connection per se, in terms of like the way it used to be. So whoever this is for, Divine Feminine, this is about a Divine Feminine who kind of recklessly jumped in, got burned, got burned several times, maybe a few times, and now is like, once bitten, 10 times bitten, 10 times shy. All right, so there's definitely the focus is internal. The focus is not really towards the masculine right now. I mean, it's a shift. It's a positive shift in my view because it's brought the feminine to a place of learning, to a place of healing. And so even though it might have felt kind of a bumpy ride to get there, like, oh, I thought this was going to be amazing. I thought this person was going to be my life partner. Like, why is this not happening? Now it's almost like, okay, I'm just turning my attention away from that, all of that stuff, and I'm really focusing on myself. Masculine underneath is the 9 of Cups. Death card. changes happening. King of Pentacles. Wow. Holy cow. Devil energy and the opportunity. I'll talk a little bit about the eclipse season that we're about to embark upon. And the reason I'm saying that is because it is an activation energy, especially around Taurus, this King of Pentacles. Knight of Swords, Empress. There's Taurus and Libra energy. Ten of Wands again. All right. And the outcome is the Queen of Cups. I feel like the feminine has the feeling of being brought through the ringer. You both have this Ten of Wands here. Okay. So both of you have experienced a lot of overwhelm, a lot of problems with this connection, disconnection, discontent, longing, all of these separation energies, okay? All of the separation energies. So far, I'm seeing Scorpio, Capricorn, Taurus, and Libra. So Virgo did not show up in the beginning here, but I do see the other two earth signs, and then I see Libra and Scorpio. And the outcome with the divine masculine is this Queen of Cups, which is the feminine energy. I feel like the masculine is healing some 3D issues for themselves. It's likely the masculine has suddenly connected with their manifesting power. And I do feel like in the past, I may be tapping into a different group of masculines here, a different collection of twin flames. But this does feel to me like the masculine has finally kind of overcome their issues around money or stability, and might be finding themselves very lonely because they just really focused on that. The feminine now stepping into Page of Pentacles energy about learning some new things. I feel like the feminine is opening up to their healing energy much more. Kind of letting go of this overwhelm, letting go of any of that. All right, so let's see about the connection. The connection. Two of Wands, a choice. Six of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. Lovers. Gemini. Okay, so what's going on with this connection here is the masculine may be hugging a little bit their 3D life, a little bit too much, okay? They're sort of like, okay, I'm not going to pay attention to any kind of spiritual connection, even though these may not be the words they would ever use, but I'm just going to, I've had some manifesting luck here, and I'm going to just ride that horse. I'm not going to deal with anything else for right now. I'm just going to really focus on that. Ironically enough, that masculine that is doing that, number one, feels alone. Okay, feels very alone, feels kind of, like, all right, well, this is kind of a lot for me to handle myself. The feminine is really focused internally. I feel like the masculine is losing the sense of connection from the feminine. The masculine is kind of mourning that about face by the feminine. The feminine has been like, listen, for all this time, I've been really focused on the connection. I'm just not there anymore. Maybe has even worked on cutting the ties. The feminine has really worked on cutting the ties with this particular masculine. And I feel like the masculine is now going, oh, wait a second. I'm not interested in having you do that. I don't want you to cut our ties. I want us to be connected. I want us to spend more time together. I'm willing to move out of this kind of very focused, career-driven, physical world kind of experience that they're in. It's kind of a loveless place they're in right now. All right. And they're feeling like, I really want love in my life again. This is something that it's great to have all the money, but if I've got nobody to share it with, it seems kind of a hollow existence, which is exactly what the masculine is saying. So there's a choice here, the Two of Wands and the Lover's card. There's a choice here, and I do feel like the feminine has kind of taken her hands off the steering wheel. And the masculine also, but in a different way. The masculine was like, I got to focus on my 3D life. I can't be dealing with this. Or I'm just like in a place where I'm just focused on my own darn self, and there's no connection. It feels very dark to me. Death and devil right around the masculine feels very dark. I'm going to do a little clarifying here. Clarify the death and devil for me with the masculine. Six of Swords, Page of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. I feel like the masculine, I see this energy of movement, but their work is holding on to them. Their work could be their mission, but this really feels like more like a 3D job, okay? Whatever obligations the masculine has may be overwhelming to them. Okay, and I do think the masculine is going to send a small, send up a flare a little bit here, but let me see about the feminine. This Ten of Wands. Oh, look at that, Ten of Cups. Okay, the Moon, Ten of Cups, Ace of Cups in reverse, and the Ten of Wands in reverse. So the feminine is like, we've already been here. We're at Ten of Cups. We're not at the Ace of Cups anymore. If we keep having these new beginnings, but like, when is it going to settle out? When can it just be a little less up and down, a little less, romantic. I keep getting the word romantic, a little less like wild, right? In the beginning of the connection, there's all this wild energy. Why can't we just have it be a little more peaceful? And I do feel like the masculine has a grounded capability. They are working on their own grounding, but it's almost like too heavy. It's very, very 3D focused. And when they move into, when they move into their dreams, or when they're in the dark heart here, in the private heart of this person. I don't mean dark. I mean like where you don't see. And there's moon energy over here too. So there's this kind of like private energy of wanting to go together, wanting to be on the same path together. The Eight of Cups with the feminine and the Six of Swords with the masculine. I feel like the masculine isn't reaching out because they feel like it's going to be too much work. And the feminine is like, I'm tired of having all of these new, like it crashes and then we get together and then it crashes and all this kind of stuff. The feminine feels like that's a little bit overwhelming. Got the Ten of Wands again. All right, so let's look at, just going to tell you, in the extended, I will look at Pisces, Gemini, Scorpio, Capricorn, Taurus, Libra, Sag. All right, let's get a couple of these hidden truth cards. What's really going on here? What's the hidden truth? I left before you could leave me. Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. We need to let go. We need to let each other go. So many things remind me of you. Now, that doesn't feel like there's this, I feel like what's being said here is you can see the real practical nature of we need to let each other go. And I left you before you could leave me. There's this practical, fear-based reaction. So the feminine, it's I left you before you could leave me. Because of the craziness of the up and downs, one of you just was like, okay, I got to go because I just know that pretty soon you're going to say, I got to go and I can't handle it. So whichever one of you left, the real message is, I left you before you could leave me. There's this practical side that says we need to let each other go. But what's going on in this moon, I'm going to be doing a moon class pretty soon that's going to connect you with this deep energy. And I'll maybe I'll put something in that class about specifically for twin flames. But this is like, sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. So many things remind me of you. There's just this sweet sensibility of, if we could just move beyond some of this ups and downs kind of craziness. And really what this is about is releasing control. I left you before you could leave me. And we need to let each other go. And this just needs to stop. And how much craziness are we going to have? The focal point here is releasing control and making a choice to release control. Making a choice to allow. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And instead of trying to like make it work or let it go or cut it off or anything like that, I feel like what's being asked of you is to bear witness, to have the strength to stand in the connection, regardless of the fact if you feel like the other person's going to cut and run, regardless of that. The masculine needs to turn and face the feminine and say their feelings. The feminine needs to turn to the masculine and say, this is what I feel is going on, and you know my feelings, and this is how I'm bearing witness to this connection. So this is like a big moment here where both of you surrender to this journey, release control of what's going on, and allow for the next thing. What is the next thing? Sometimes I stay awake thinking about you. So many things remind me of you. There's no, with all of this, like, I want to heal and cut the connection because it's too difficult. I want to walk away from this. It's too difficult. That might be true. But there's something else here. Let me get one. Let's see. Which deck do I want to use here? This deck here. The Lovers shows up here. Ace of Wands in reverse. Knight of Swords in reverse. Emperor in reverse. And the Sun. Releasing control. Removing any anger. This is not just about sex. I think there's some kind of confusion here about what this is really all about, what this group of twin flames is really all about. And I believe it has to do with magic. Okay? Journey by the moon. Okay? The moon. Journey by moonlight. There's some kind of moon energy here, which is, in the deepest sense, our truest selves. And the idea that showing our true selves to someone else, how freaking terrifying that can be. Okay? If this is your reading, I'm going to continue on. I will look at all those signs that I just said I would look at. And we'll get some clarity. All right? The link is below. Wow, the Hidden Truth Oracle. I really kind of love this. All right, link is below. I'll see you over there.